What's up guys, this is Astranox and today I'm going to be doing my Moonlight summon number 27. After that I'm going to be reviewing the Mystic Pool summon rotation for the current week and the week after. And after that I'm going to check the top 100 in Arena. I'll check the meta. And let's begin. Let's see what I'm going to pull from my Moonlight summon. Oh my god. Oh god, I'll just do it, whatever. Please shine. Pop from the right. Shine, upgrade. Oh no. Lorita. Alright, that's it for this. So, the Mystic Summon Pool. We've got Violet. I'm actually gonna pull this week because Violet is a bruiser. Like he keeps on evading and he counterattacks. Drops attack down debuff, which is very good in terms of survival. The chance is super high too, 75% chance after skill enhancing, even 65% chance. That's quite high to begin with, and when you soul burn that goes up to 100% chance, and the attack break lasts for 2 turns. This is without awakening when I'm checking his skills actually, but yeah, he buffs himself. Actually, cooldown increase. Yeah, when this is on cooldown, his evasion goes up by 30%, and then he just gets an extra turn. And while on auto, he uses that. But like, even if you manual, that's pretty much what you just run afterward. But it's mostly because, I mean, of course, the dream is Sage Balance season. Now, moving back to this whole thing, this whole week in general, there's Sid and Shuri. Let's say you're starting out. Sid is an amazing damage dealer with speed buff. He, especially with speed buff, but he can get speed buff by himself when he land a critical hit with skill 1, and also he lands defense down with this skill when he has speed buff. It doesn't show now because he needs to be awakened, but oh, there it is. Sorry, that's the passive. When you have speed buff, it does that, and also it deals increased damage. And this, when you kill, it gets you an extra turn, and also that you can potentially kill 2 players with this skill by itself. And I've been using Sid for a long time. super strong, especially in Guild Wars, but you can use him as a single target damage dealer in PvP. And PvE, he deals a ton of damage. Not good in terms of morale though in Labyrinth and Raid, but still he is definitely, I mean, he's a top tier damage dealer, single target damage dealer. Shuri, also memory imprint on Sid and memory imprint speed, sorry, on Sid and on Shuri. So if you are looking for extra copies to increase your speed team's well, speed, just go for that banner as well. If you're looking for Violet, the issue is this, that's my issue with this rotation, is that Violet Talisman is here, and I prefer Moonlight Dreamblade on Violet because this, you need time to build this up, and you don't really have time in a game. Like, you want to have the full amount ready to go, and that's way too slow. And also you get the attack buff instantly on the Moonlight Dreamblade when you evade, which is super powerful. Now even like you even have Rose. If you need a combat readiness booster that boosts the attack of your team, she's there. And Zerato, I mean, he's very strong on turn 1. The issue is his speed is not that high actually, but this is a chance, like, if the enemy team see you using him early game, I would say, like, if let's say you're playing on Europe, this stun early on is very devastating. It's not 100% chance, but still, if you land a few, it can definitely disrupt them, and it can allow you to win the battle just by using, landing those stuns. And these artifacts, those 4-star artifacts, this is for, well, it's offense. This is offense as well, but Portrait of the Savior just deals more damage than this unless you're fighting a target with super high amount of defense, which is it's unfortunate. And also this, you require the target to be not at full health, So that means you need someone to deal area damage to the whole team, or just damage to the target that you want to single target. Yeah, if you want to burn that one target, it needs to have taken some damage. And this is good. I actually use this on my Shuri just so I can close the gap. I can go twice with my Salesforce Mercedes. Anyways, it can be used still. It got nerfed. It's not as good as it once was. And I believe before you were able to stack those. No, but now it's still useful, but definitely not as strong as before. Now, the 3-star heroes though, super strong. I mean, if you're starting out early game, this lineup is quite insane. So I would say go for it here. If you are looking for Turner Guard for Wyvern, he's there. Clury, even after the nerf, she's still super powerful. She's there. You've got Judith, 117 base speed, combat readiness booster. Super useful if you want to go for that turn 1 and you want to stack speed and you just want to kill the enemy team before they even move. Carmen Rose, very strong in Golem, but cannot really be used in PvP. She's too squishy, but her kit is insane. All these buff on herself, remove buff on the enemy, and decrease combat readiness of the enemy, and also increase her speed and decrease their speed when this is awakened. And she steals life as well. Well, it means she absorbs some of the damage it's held. So her kit is just next level amazing, especially for a 3-star hero. And I would say these 3-star artifacts though, you can use this. Curse Compass is good if you really need to land that turn 1 debuff on the enemy team in PvP, especially if they're stacking effect resistance. But you could definitely just rely on this artifact and not even have to wear any gear with effectiveness if you enhance this enough. I mean, that would be in lower tier PvP. In higher tier, you will have to still get effectiveness because they are stacking effect resistance, like stacking a ton of it. Now, this was the current week. There's still, from this video, 5 days left on this. I would say in overall, this an amazing week, and that's the last week with Sage Bell in season. So I would say use your Mystic Metals if you need a few things out of this this pool right here. Now the next week though, things start to be yeah, that new hero, Fallen Cecilia, is pretty insane. I don't know her multipliers. Sorry guys, I haven't checked before the video, but look at that thing, man. I kind of have to go and check what's her awakening, but just out of this, man, 85% chance to provoke for 1 turn. That's nuts. She scales off of health on everything. That is totally crazy. But the craziest thing, well, there's a few things actually. This attacks all, 5 turn cooldown, and applies skill nullifier on your whole team. That means the next attack that deals damage, you will just take 0 damage instead, and you will lose this skill nullifier buff. Then you've got the soul burn for only 10 souls that reduce cooldown by 2 turns, and that's a passive. So usually these the soul burn effect like this, it reduces the cooldown of all skills on the hero, but yeah, that's a passive here. So this is very strong. But not only that, you've got provoke, so taking allowing her to grab the, well, provoking a target, and so they're not attacking anyone else on the team. And then you've got this that grants a barrier to the lowest health target, I mean ally in the group, and also this scales off of her health. But there was something else. Yeah, the awakening is that she applies barrier on the whole team at the start of the battle. I could go check just to be sure, but the unfortunate thing with this banner is that if you're not looking for Ludwig because you don't have someone to apply immortality on him for this skill to penetrate the enemy's defense, then that would be still, he can still be used, but I feel like you really need that immortality to use his full potential. Now, if you have heroes that could, well, I would say Charles would be a very good contender for Elbrus Ritual Sword. Beside him, to be honest, no other hero come to mind. But now, wait, now her, yeah, Fallen Cecilia, she's definitely a good contender. Man, 85% chance on that thing. This goes up to 100% chance with skill ups, which is completely nuts. And with Elbrus Ritual Sword, if the team gets attacked with an AoE attack, there's a high chance she's gonna counter attack and provoke them if they don't have immunity. But that is so strong. Now, the biggest problem with this rotation is that Silk is a free hero, Maya is a free hero, and Crozet is a free hero. Looks like they almost planned this thing. Like, alright, we are adding this new hero. This is the first week. And yeah, I mean, that's definitely unfortunate. But still, we've got Montmorency. She's got her specialty change here. And if you're looking for her, well, she's there. Hazel can be gotten for free. Still in Rosie, he's got a specialty change. Rima, I mean, Rima is very can be used, but for a very specific thing, and it's for the reduction of skill cooldown by, I believe it's 3 turns when it's awakened. Now, in terms of 4-star artifact, Ori is very, very strong. Sorry. And you've got this for the effect resistance meta. Super powerful. You put that on a warrior and it definitely helps to resist a bunch of debuff. And this, well, you can apply this on a ranger to have increase the ally's chance to dual attack. So whenever you attack with a ranger carrying this, there's a very high chance one of your ally will dual attack on that ranger's turn, which is quite good to increase the overall single target damage of your team. It's mostly used in PvE, but you could definitely use it in PvP early game. Even Guild Wars, it could be used, but to be honest, it really shines it shines more in PvE. And also, like, if you have Silk and you wear this, super strong. That in the Abyss, I did use it for multiple floors. Yeah, you can go check my Abyss videos. Got guys on that floor 62 plus. And yeah, those are my thoughts for this week. Rosie, super strong combat ridden as booster, but if you want to read as much speed as possible when to go first, Judith would be the winner there because 117 speed. Rosie, you need to do specialty change. He goes up to 114, but I mean, you need to have a bunch of earth runes farmed up to do that, and you need to unlock his specialty change as well. But he get a speed buff for the whole team, which is extremely powerful in combination with Sid. If Sid goes after him, he's got the speed buff already applied, and Sid also has a very high base speed. And the synergy between them, I used them in Guild Wars. I was using them together in PvP before Arena. But yeah, speed memory imprint on both. Shuri has it too. So solid. But this rotation, of course, this is the dream. Beside that, you might be looking for that Elbrus. You've got Charles. Maybe you pulled her, but yeah, I could have kept my Moonlight 7 actually for when she got released. But yeah, I just did it on this one. I don't really care. It's not like I would get her. Like, the chance is so small. It's so small. So the Aureus, of course, that's so many players use it. PvE, PvP to survive initial burst damage. super helpful. Defense increase of team-wide defense increase. That's passive, and damage redirection onto your knight that's carrying it. So good. So if you're in the early game or even mid game and you still don't have an Aureus, I mean, that could be the banner to go for, and maybe you get lucky with something even rarer. But these are my thoughts, guys. Yeah, yeah, I said I'm gonna pull. That's gonna be my next video actually, and I'm going for that banner. It's the last week for ML Bell in season, and he would definitely bring my PvP team to another level, of course. So I'm gonna go, and I'm looking for a bruiser, and Violet could be that hero. That definitely would help me out. I mean, I have the gear ready, I just need to pull him. And also, if I pull duplicate of Sid or Shuri, that's more speed toward my speed team, speed cleave team. So yeah, there's that. Let's move on to the arena meta real quick. Let's go through this top 100. My defense has been struggling hard. Super tanky defense. I mean, it's not that tanky. Doesn't have enough effect resistance. So I'm switching back to my old speed cleave team on my defense and see how it goes. It's too rough to just tank the damage now. It's there's just too much damage, and I'm getting attacked way more than initially. Anyways, let's go through this list. There's the usual Crimson Armin, super strong with the immortality for 1 turn and immunity, both team wide, and can wear Aureus. Ruel of Light, revive, so much healing. Just an amazing duo though. These two heroes together could skyrocket you in PvP together. It's just completely well, broken, I would say. That would be the word. But even just Crimson Armin by herself is a huge deal. ML Bell is definitely showing up a lot. You've got a lot of Dizzies as well. You've got both combined together. I mean, there's every team's running some things to keep themselves alive. That immunity to not get debuffed, or they are stacking effect resistance like crazy. That's one thing you have to know, guys. Like, they're not rocking 100 effect resistance. They're rocking like 150 plus effect resistance. Maybe top players might be running like close to 200, or even around 200% effect resistance. They must be running resistance sets with a ton of effect resistance, because if they can't be debuffed, debuffs are so powerful in the game that if you can not receive them, that's a huge deal. Angelica is not showing up that much. There's Destina is so good because she clears all debuff and gives you combat readiness for each ally that had a debuff. For each debuff, it's like 15% combat readiness per debuff. So when you remove all of them, it is nuts. But they have so much effect resistance. Let's say, I mean, they're not running effect resistance on all their hero at like 200%. Let's say it's like between 150 and 200%. Like, it would be on their heroes like Ruel of Light. Like, she cannot die, because if she dies, she cannot revive anymore. But if they keep her alive, then yeah, her and Crimson Armin, I mean, they can get the team back up. Like that ML Araminta, if she dies, they just bring her back up, and that's it. They must be running I mean, an insane amount of effectiveness on their ML Araminta. Some of them could be built offensively, like not with crit, but super high attack and super high effectiveness. I mean, they have to. The thing is that you need, I mean, they're running ML Bell with Araminta to remove immunity buff. Let's see. Sometimes you see some ML Araminta without Bell. I mean, she's just so powerful. The damage that she can do is completely out of this world. Because burn bypasses defense 70%, and it deals 60% of your attack. Bleed is 30%. It's a ton of damage. So you've got Elu 12 still running a team with well, just one Moonlight hero. props to him. You got a cleaver here, Cactus. I've seen him multiple times. Just speed team. Probably like that Vildred by himself can probably solo most teams, and that's yeah, that's it. That's without defense down. But yeah, ML Arminta is here, so I mean, I've seen some Vildred that deal just ridiculous amounts of damage. So it seems to be like mostly Ruel and then Destina. Martial artist Ken, like I said in the last video, he's not showing up much, but he's still an amazing hero. I mean, if you stack a bunch of effect resistance on him, and especially if you have Sigurd's Sight, I mean, you're gonna have to balance his stats because you don't want him to die. But he's with Ruel, so even if he dies, I mean, he's gonna come back and play. Speed team. But it's mostly just stall, deal damage, you eventually kill them, or the arena damage is piling up and they just eventually die from that because it just gets to crazy amount, to a crazy level. But I mean, these players, they have insane stats, so they can even tank the highest level, but they don't have to because that's their defense. You're the one that's going to be attacking them on offense. Not too many players are using Corvus. I'm sure like a lot of these players do have Corvus, but they are not using him. I mean, for the amount of Moonlight heroes they have, some Angelica, General Purgus, great for anti-cleaving, because when he gets hit, he gives combat readiness to the whole team, including himself, and he can stun, attack buff. Just a great hero overall. But you don't see him too much in the top 100. You barely see him actually. Kayron is definitely not showing up as much as before. There used to be Violets in top 100, but not anymore. I mean, when Violet gets hit with the debuffs of Dizzy, that's pretty unfortunate if you cannot remove them, because he's just gonna be hitting like a wet noodle. Got some speed teams. Gisario usually doesn't run too many Moonlight hero. Yeah, three non-Moonlight. DN, she's not showing up much. But there's a few players. I'll go back to like all the way down, and then we'll just go back up real quick. But it looks like if Plur has Ruel of Light, she's just in there. She's just there. She's part of their team, because I mean, why not? Why not have her in there? Kurado. If they have ML Bell, looks like they are using him. ML Bell, Ruel. Crimson Armin, he's like staple. He's just there. Like, not he, she's there. She's there if they have her. But I mean, a lot of players, a few are not using her. Especially, I mean, speed teams, you're not gonna be using her. If you have ML Bell and you're going for speed offense, you don't need the hero. You don't need ML Armin because I mean, you will be doing all the offensive damage, and you're trying to control them and just kill them. You don't want to be taking a bunch of damage. You have to kill them before the arena damage piles up too much. Yeah, there's a few speed teams. But how? Oh well, yeah, they're running Ila's Violin on Dizzy. I mean, they must be. They need to have some strip going. So yeah, they've got to be running that. Could it be Illa Violin and Tagil's Ancient Book? Like, cause so you can have Dizzy go twice, and actually it cannot be resisted. When you have an effect from an artifact, it cannot be resisted, so you can bypass all their effect resistance. But still, you need to land debuffs from these heroes like Dizzy and ML Araminta, so you still need a bunch of effectiveness. But yeah, that's how the meta is looking like. I mean, it takes so much time to obtain these heroes. I mean, so much money or time or both. But I mean, if a server just opens up like Europe, the meta is completely different. It's just like it's speed cleave. Players didn't have time yet to build teams that can tank the damage coming their way from speed cleave teams. But I mean, it's a matter of time. And of course, these Moonlight heroes are going to be showing up more and more with time, and yeah, if they are spending money, it's going to speed up the process, of course. But Dizzy definitely changed things. She definitely did, because, I mean, look at this. She's just showing up so much. Yeah, the teams that are not using her, they're like running like full Moonlight or almost all Moonlight, and they already have ML Bell that's just disrupting the enemy team so much. Or, I mean, they just have another strategy for their defense. The thing is, like, a lot of them, like, if they're running insane